Hello, welcome to today's live and interactive session conducted by THiNC Institute of Design. So today one of our main faculty named Aswin sir is there with us today. So he will be taking the topic which is CAT, that is Creative Ability Test, which will be related to drawing of Nift Entrance Exam 2022. So as you all know, there is only finger counting hours for the entrance exam. So I hope you all are prepared well. So let's start this session. Before that, I'd like to remind that yesterday also we had one session which was related to GK, that is Padma Award and all. So you can just go through the video in our YouTube channel. So not much delay, let's start. And also I'd like to remind one more thing, that if you are liking this video, please do subscribe also. So if you have any queries and any doubts, you can just comment in our live chat box. You are free to comment, and you are free to clarify all your doubts in this session. So Ashwin sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, shall we start this session?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, so good afternoon, and hope everybody is doing well and are preparing for their exam, as he has said, our host has said. So let's start. So I'll screen share, and we'll start with the whole session of today. Yeah, so good afternoon once again. So today we'll be looking at two topics. This two topics, namely sequence drawing and poster design. And why am I getting to that? That's because, so according to the pattern we have, the whole exam has 3 questions, and you have 3 hours to attend that. And 3 questions and 3 hours means 1 question, 1 hour, right? 1 question and 1 hour, and mainly the questions coming will be from sequence drawing, poster design, maybe sketching and perspectives and all those things, product design and all, etc., etc. So there are more topics. So we will be looking at these 2 topics today. So first, starting with sequence drawing. Sequence drawing, what is sequence drawing? Sequence drawing is basically a depiction of how you want to show a story. So sequence is of different types. First one being storyboarding. Storyboarding is basically you are depicting a story. A story, as the name suggests, storyboarding is for story. And then you have comic strip, which is basically a story depiction, but in a more comic way. You have read comics, and also I think you might be knowing how comic strips are. So there will be a character, and that character will be interacting with objects and people and all those things, and maybe you will have what do you say, the dialogue boxes and all those things. So that is comic strip. And third one is process or procedure sequence. So we'll look at different examples right now. So let's move on to that. So I'll show some examples. First one being so this is one example of a storyboard. Here they have written the short and all those things. Let's not look into that, but look at the frames. The frames are those things that I'm talking about. So here in a storyboard, usually a story will be given and they'll be depicting it in different frames, and you will be given you might be given number of frames. If they have given the number of frames and you have to put it in that, then you have to divide the whole story into the number of frames. Say for example, they have given like a 6 frame and you have to depict a story. So here you have to understand how to depict the story. Basically, it's about framing. And say for example, two people are talking, you can show like people talking like this, or maybe you can show it as an aerial view where people are talking face to face, right? Maybe you can show in a way where the whole scene is visible, like they are standing on a beach maybe, and they are standing there talking. So it depends on the seriousness, depends on the story. The frame should be adjusted in such a way that the story is depicted properly. Yeah. Say for example, they are having a very serious conversation. You might have to show their face, like a person's face, and that person talking, and maybe the expressions showing how serious they are or at that point, and maybe showing the backside of the back side of the head of the second person, like that. So here you can see how they are talking. You'll get an understanding of how they are talking to each other, and how they are looking face to face and talking. So you can show what they are talking, like hi or something. So this is one frame actually. So you can show a frame like that to show good enough conversation. So this is what I was talking about, this framing. Like depends on the story, depending on the story, how you want to depict the story over there. So say for example, this is the conversation and you are showing something like showing something like hi over there. It doesn't make any sense when they are like when you're trying to show a conversation on that. Say this is the frame and you're showing the whole scenario over there. It doesn't make any sense. But it makes sense. This particular frame makes sense when you want to show them having a conversation and you want to show how the whole environment is, acting, and how what the environment is doing and all. So here you have to take care of all the basic principles, basic sketching ideas you have learned, like the perspectives, mainly the perspectives, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspectives, etc. So this is all about storyboarding, and let's move on to something like a comic strip. So comic strip will look almost the same like storyboarding itself, but a bit more humorous in a way that, say for example, in this particular frame, you can see them talking, you can see the expressions, everything just like the storyboard. But the thing is that the whole depiction is shown in such a way that it is very humorous and maybe very intriguing. You can be you want to be there and read it out and all those things. So this is actually a comic strip example. So you're showing the whole this particular comic strip shows the conversation between these two people, but if you see that the whole expression and the dialogues and everything is happening is actually intriguing. You want to read it out. That's what comic strip is. So that is also part of storyboarding, as I said. And some tips for um, storyboarding or like a conversation thing. Say, for example, you are using a dialogue box like this. This is for normal conversations. This is like clouds for like thinking. If you're thinking something, say, for example, you have a head over there. You have the head over there. And you're thinking something, then this is how it will be. And if you are talking something, this is how it will be. You're screaming. If you're screaming, make the dialogue box very, you know, spiky, and you are saying, hey, something like that. If you are screaming. So these are some tips that you can use uh, to show some conversation. And then, for example, yeah, let's move on to the comic strip. Here, the comic strip, in the comic strip, the whole expression is shown but in the character itself. Like you can see this particular shivering or that vibration thing they have shown is for like they're showing some instability or instability over there. Like that person is angry or you know afraid. If they're angry, afraid, you can show that in that way. Then let's move on to a process process or a procedure. um, this is one example of a process or a procedure happening and how the sequence is happening. So see if you see that this particular it's a sketch over a photograph of something. But here you can see the whole process of how the golf is being played, right? How they are swinging the club and it's hitting and all those things. So this particular image shows the like the process. If you see that, you can see the whole process being separated and whole process happening 1, 2, 3, 4, and that procedure happening over there. This is one sequence drawing. So you can expect something like a, a sport or something being played and how that is being happening. And say let's move on for faster sketching. Let's move on with these sketch figures. Say for example you are running, say you are talking about a running race or something. You are standing there with your one leg like that, something like that. The uh, second frame will be what uh, the starting of the race with the gun shot, right? So you should be showing not this person but the gunshot. Say that that uh, person is holding the gun, and then the shooting is happening, and you can show it like the bullet is going like that outside. It's firing, right? So something like that. It's fired, and then the next frame will be like people start view, like a more distant view where you are showing the tracks and this people have started running. Something like that. So here this particular frame shows everybody is running, like it is a race over there. If you're showing just a person running, you can show it like that. But the problem is that it doesn't show as a whole running race. And even if you're okay, let's say for example you are showing it like that. This makes sense when like it shows that you are running, obviously. But if you are showing it in a very distant manner and you are showing something like audience sitting there, um, watching the whole race and everything, that that gives an impact of this being happening in a stadium. So you can show something like that over there, and you are showing people running in a straight line, like the track, and maybe some people running in a different pace, you know. So this shows a bit more dramatic way of showing a running race. And then one person, then the next frame could be this going to this part. The next frame could be that, so that it shows they are running, having a race, and one person is ahead of everybody. And the next frame could be that person winning. So if you are showing something like winning, say you could show it from the front view, and you have all these happening as a 1 point perspective, and you have that ribbon over there and this person running towards the ribbon. Running towards the ribbon, and the other people are actually running behind him to win, trying to win the race and all those things. And you can show some people standing there cheering them. Cheering them, and people running like that, all those things. So here it shows a sequence where the whole running race is happening, just like that. So the basic rule of a comic strip or a sequence drawing as a whole is left to right and then top to bottom. So it will be like that. The whole story will be read from left to right, and then going to the next row, and then left to right, like that. So that's the way usually stories are are being read, and so that's how you need to make the whole storyboard itself. So this is all about storyboarding in a quick glance. And let's move on to poster design. Poster design, the basic of poster design you need to understand is uh, the the fundamentals of graphic design as a whole. Like fundamentals of graphic design has this thing called elements of design. If anybody have heard of it, elements of design are like dot, line, then coming to a 3D form, which is a shape, then then coming to a 2D form, and then coming to a 3D more 3D form, which is form. So this is point, line, shape, form, then comes texture. So at least this much you need to keep in mind. There are more, but and then colors and all those things. There are more, but you have to keep these in mind. So usage of these elements and how you are utilizing them is makes the whole poster much more beautiful. And then comes, this is the elements of design. Elements, you have principles of design. Principles of design basically being emphasis, which has a major role. Emphasis, creating emphasis through graphical means. Then balance. I'm not going to explain all the terms. Let's move. Let's talk about the most important ones in poster design. Emphasis, balance, graphical or visual balance. Then comes contrast. This comes with colors or even black and white. Like even black and white or grayscale has, you can build a contrast over there. So this is basically about contrast, and then maybe utilizing how the white space or the negative space. Yeah, so this is basically the basics of graphic design things. So if you look into the posters, let's look at some examples of posters. So posters examples, let's take the example of movie posters itself, and let's understand how they have utilized these basics of uh, graphic design to create an impact or the meaning of that poster over there, like what they are trying to name, what they are trying to portray over there. Yeah, even typography makes a lot of it creates a lot of difference. Say I'm taking this particular poster. This particular poster is a poster for a movie called Tunnel. Yeah, it's written over there, right? Here, the fundamentals of poster is that you're reducing the amount of text used. Text should be reduced and increase visuals. Visual should be increased. So this is kind of a a photograph, but you can keep on doing with, like, you can put illustrations and images and all those, I mean sketches, so that you can make good posters for that. So how the utilization has been done, let's see. So here you can see they have utilized 1 point perspective, right? 1 point perspective to show that it is going inside and that person is going inside. Yeah, they have shown that 1 point perspective shows that this is going in and it is kind of never ending, creates a what do you say, a horror feel. So this particular poster gives me an impression that this particular poster is designed for a movie which is more into horror. Yeah, it should evoke a fright in the people, like whoever watches this movie. The poster itself should show that this should show the theme of the movie. And this, see, if you can see that they have used only two colors, green and, yeah, green. They have used only shades of green. That's all. And see the texture. Let me see a better poster. Yeah, this is better clarity. Here, if you see the font they have used, and the font has a bit of texture happening over there, which creates the mood of the whole poster. And you can see this particular person, it's just a silhouette. It's a 2D figure, just a shape. The whole uh, theme here is darkness, and the person is standing in darkness, and the whole tunnel is going in, and you can see that distance happening, and a lot of things have been made understood to the person who's seeing the poster itself. Seeing the poster itself, yeah. So see, one point perspective, as I said, they have utilized that, and that creates the distance, that creates the vibe of a tunnel. And they have utilized like the lines and all those things, and even just the shape creates an impact over there. Just the shape, they have not utilized the what do you call that, the form, yeah. They have not utilized the form, it's just a shape. And here you can see the light falling over there, that's more like a form. There is something over there, you can understand them. Lights and shadows playing a big role in the whole poster. So this is the fundamental of a poster, if I say. Like, the fundamentals of poster design is basically the fundamentals of graphic design. They have utilized point, line. Line need not be a line like this itself. It could be a curve, it could be a circle, not a circle, like a curve like that, and everything can happen. And what is the shape? Shape is basically a curve that gets closed. So you have a volume over there, that's shape. And say, for example, you have this shape and you are giving a bit of light over there, light and shadow over there, and putting a bit of shadow over there. This creates a 3D illusion over there. This is form. And you have texture. Say this particular sphere is made of a mesh or something. This is actually the texture and the colors. So that's all basically about the fundamentals of graphic design. And if you see, let me see another example where they are they're utilizing the color here. When we saw the tunnel, they have just utilized it as the poster is made in a monochromatic way, right? Just the shades of green, and that too very dark kind of shades, so that it creates a horror feel. Let me see another example. Go to back to the future poster. So this is a poster of Back to the Future movie. And if you see that, the amount of text used is very less. Whatever you want to show in the poster was like back to the future. See the typography used over there, back, and the arrows, which is from like the arrow is starting from right to the left, right and to left. So it's pointing from right to left, shows it is going back. Yeah, that's back over there, back to the future. And if you have seen the movie, you will understand the theme of it. And see, this person is the main character. So this is what that person wanted to like the poster, whoever designed the poster wanted to show. This is the main character, and this is the particular vehicle that was used as a time machine. And these are the main characters of the whole movie. So they wanted to emphasize on that, and just that, and the main typography showing the name of the movie, and very minimal text showing 25th anniversary re-release, a digital presentation, and all those things. So if you see, but it shows everything of regarding that movie. Yeah, and so as I already said, principles of design has emphasis, and there is a balance. So let's move into balance. It has been balanced. Look at that. See the amount of red and like the orange. If you see, it's orange to yellow, right? And yellow to orange, and that is being balanced over there. And you can see that the particular color happening over there. This part that is being balanced with the whole, convergent shape of this particular color. And if you see the blues, it's being balanced over here in a way, different way though, but it's being balanced there. Blues, yeah. And and the emphasis, as I said, emphasis, this particular person and this car should have the emphasis. And then the whole movie name, because this particular movie name is a brand already. So they are re-releasing the movie. So they wanted to show, first emphasis goes to this particular name, the title of the movie, which is Back to the Future, because it had three parts, right? Three parts, and it's already a brand. It has been mentioned in almost a lot of literature, and a lot of what inspiration has been taken from these movies to do a lot of inventions and all of this. So this particular movie has a good place in the history. So this already is a brand. So if you are saying that I am re-releasing the movie Back to the Future and that's it, so you can show this and that's it. And these two is enough for the for people to understand everything. So that's where the emphasis comes into picture. You are just emphasizing the title and the character and the car. That's what. And as I said about the balance and all those things, and see how they have utilized the black, not the white space, but here the black space or the negative space. See, they have utilized the blacks to put the white text over there. Very simple. And the contrast, since it is black and white, and this particular title is having that contrasting color, which is orange and yellow, that gradient, which creates, which forces the eyes of the person who is seeing the poster to go and read that point in the initial phase itself. So that's what the importance of contrast is. So this is basically like the the fundamentals that you have to keep in mind while doing poster design. Yeah, so this is, yeah, let's open a room for people to ask any doubts if you have. If you have any doubts, please put it in the live chat. So this is all about the hello. Hello. Yeah. So this is the fundamental things that you have to keep in mind. Let's do a small revision. So what is sequence? Sequence drawing is basically how the whole story is being depicted. Story doesn't mean only the story, but also procedure. That is also a story, right? You're showing a procedure, that is also kind of a story. So these are the three things that you have to keep in mind. These are the three things that comes under sequence drawing, and whatever you have to keep in mind is the framing, how to frame an image, how to compose a frame. So frame, composition, and if it comes to comic strips, create a character in the starting itself. Creating a character and character or characters, I would say, characters and the objects that should go inside the story, and how they are, what is the story. So everything should be there with the story. You have to understand what the story is, keep in mind the story, and then work accordingly for all these. And yeah, in sequence drawing, how sequence, I mean the process or procedure drawing, maybe I would suggest these kind of examples. Go watch the user manuals of different. If you see that, you can see how they have been depicted over there, like how you should be using a particular, say, electronic devices or any other devices, how they are they should be used. They might have mentioned it over there. That's one way of showing one way of depicting a sequence. Yeah, a procedure. That's one thing, user manuals. And then other things that you can look into is uh, like the anatomy thing. So how different sports are being played, how they are, how the procedure is happening over there. Say, for example, I showed you how to depict, very simply depict how a running race is happening. Then you have other sports and all those things, and how to frame that. That also I have mentioned to you, right? So if you are showing something that the person is coming towards you, then show it from the front view, coming towards you in the sense that uh, he's winning. So you have to show something uh, which shows the happiness in him. So it's more like, yeah, this is this guy is running towards the a ribbon, and the other people are over there. Other people are over there running towards the finish line and all. but you have to emphasize on this person. As I said, that the fundamentals of graphic design has to be there everywhere. The whole story is revolving around this particular character. That's why. If you are giving equal importance to everybody else, that doesn't, show the story properly. That will create confusions. But if you are showing with variable line weights and all those things, it shows that this person is near to the ribbon and all those things, and he is winning. So you are giving emphasis on to this person like that. And yeah, frame composition, as I said, is very important. Frame composition, how you want to show the whole story and what is happening over there, depends on how you are framing a composition, framing it, like how you are framing the story over there. And yeah, this is what it is about the sequence drawing. And then coming to poster design, once more, let's see. These are the fundamentals of graphic design, as I said. This is the elements of design, and these are the principles of design. So these things keep in mind, work accordingly. Yeah. And all the best. I hand over the session back to THiNC Institute.
Hello, so am I audible? Hello, so am I audible for you?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, is anything to add from your side, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say, if I'm talking about the exam preparation point of view, from the exam preparation point of view, you don't have to panic. Just be cool. If I'm talking about that, just be cool, and you have enough time to work each questions out. Start with ideation, some small doodles on some corner of the page, and do ideations, and then come up with the final form over there, and present it in such a way that the whole story should be understood in proper way. Like not even story in the sense, not about I'm not talking about sequence drawing alone, but I'm talking about the whole way you are presenting the whole question, answering the question. So understand what, like, know what you want to show to the person, know what you want to convey to the person who is reading that, and do it accordingly in that way. That's what I wanted to share with everybody, and keep on sketching for some more time. And the fundamentals, as I said, fundamentals of sketching, which is 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. Say, for example, you are depicting a story where this a person is very small when compared to the other person. Very small in the sense that, say, example, if I'm saying a personification, say, or a story between an ant and an elephant. So if the ant is standing below, like near to the elephant, obviously the elephant is very big, right? So at that point of time, if you use 3-point perspective, that will be the best choice to do. So these kind of fundamentals you have to keep in mind and keep on practicing. And the line ways, the emphasis you want to show, giving darker lines for
Hello,
whichever.
sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, sir, am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
So just one thing to clarify, sir. Are you sharing any screen?
No. No.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm just putting out the points so that you can.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you. You can continue, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, I was talking about how to depict the story, right? So how using 3-point, 2-point, or 1-point perspective. And if something is very massive and standing near to you, if you are using 3-point perspective, that's the best way to show that particular scene on it. And yeah, and in the poster design part, don't put a lot of text. Understand what you want to show and understand what is the real need of that poster over there. Say, for example, if you have been given something to show like a tourism part, what are you actually trying to depict over there? The tourism posters should be showing, say, it's promoting some tourism, just like maybe a Himalayan trip or something. Say, for example, you're asked to design a poster for a Himalayan trip, and if you are showing something related to that, then it's well and good, right? So you are showing Himalayas and the beauty of it, and you are showing some part of the trip. And if that is happening, if that is there in the poster, then the whole story is understood over there. The real meaning of the poster is understood over there. Or else if you are writing Himalayan trip and such information you are giving, that will not ask the people to look at that poster, right? So if you want to show that this poster is going to it's promoting tourism. So when it is promoting tourism, it should excite the people who wants to go for a trip, who wants to go for a Himalayan trip. And if they have to get excited, you have to show something which is which makes them want to go there, right? So that kind of framing and that kind of elements you have to add over there, the objects you are adding over there. And say, for example, you are showing something like coming back to Himalayan trip, and which is a bike ride, say something like that. And if you're showing if you're writing something, and if you're not at all showing a bike, or not at all showing the people going together as a gang, like a riding gang, if you're not showing that, and if you're not showing Himalayas, then Himalayan bike ride is, and you making a poster for Himalayan bike ride without these things is all in vain. So that kind of elements you need to add in. And poster, and yeah, I think this is it, I think.
Okay, sir. There is one comment that from Pavanish. Sir, exam is conducted by AI system. Actually, Pavanish, the exam will be conducted by both AI system as well as one invigilator will also be there. So it will be like that. So any other comments, any other doubts? If you have, you can ask now. We will be happy to clear those doubts. If no, then let's wind up this session. I hope this session was very useful. Thank you, Aswin sir, for joining with us today. I wish all the best for you for the exam. And if you have further queries or doubt, you can just comment. We are free to. We are so happy. We will be happy to reply in those comments also.
Yeah, so all the best to all everybody who are attending the exam tomorrow. Okay, Dev Rakesh has asked, how do you perfect sequential drawing? Yeah, perfecting sequential drawing. Say for example, if you're given a question, you have 1 hour, right? So you need to first do the time management properly. Starting with a couple of minutes for ideating, and then coming to a final form. Go for it. Sketch the basic skeleton first, and then start with detailing, so such that in such a way that whichever is closest to the say the whole if you are assuming that this is being shot in a camera, and those things which are really near to the camera will have very higher details and clarity, and say textures and everything will be visible if you are able to show that. And with distance you can reduce the amount of detailing you are putting into that, so that will make an emphasis, and as well as it will create a proper drama over there. So that's how you can make that sketch more beautiful. I won't say perfect, because nothing is perfect. You can say it's more understandable and more much more beautiful. You can and much more presentable. Yeah. And grid questions. I didn't get that actually.
Okay, Elon
What
has
is
just messaged one. Sir, one small doubt. Elon, can you please explain
Yeah,
your doubt?
before that the another person, Sis, has asked how grid questions can be solved. What are grid questions? What did you mean by grid questions? I was not able to understand. And yeah, alone you can also put whatever your doubt, whatever your doubt is, in the chat box.
So students, if you feel the session was very useful for you, then please don't forget to like this video as well as to subscribe our YouTube channel. There is also a lot of interactive sessions which was related to the Nift entrance exam, and the topics which were related to this GK were also taken. The classes are available and the recordings are also available in our YouTube channel. Please go through that. It will be very useful for you for the entrance exam that is going to be happen tomorrow. So one
yeah, should be yeah, that's what you were like. If they're giving something like 6 frames, if they have given spaces for you to sketch in frames, like 6 frames and equal number of boxes, equal size boxes and all, then you have to make sure that you are drawing it inside that. Or else you can, if they're saying you just have to make 6 frames, you can do in the way that you want to do. Like the fundamental thing of that left to right and top to bottom should be there, so that the stories, because people read it in that way. So if you are showing it in that way, it will be easier for the people to understand. But you can vary the sizes of the frames according to your wish. If they have not mentioned, you can, so if they have mentioned that you have to be sure, you have to draw it in this and this size, the frames, then then you have to do that. Or else it's completely your freedom. You can do that. You can vary the sizes depending on the particular frame you want to show, like the composition you want to show over there. And yeah, one thing you have to make sure is this thing, the left to right and top to bottom. So every story starts from the left top corner, and then from there it goes directly to the right side to the end of the page, and then comes to the next row, which is just below the top row, something like that. So that will be that should be the format you are trying to depict the story over here. That's all.
Okay, thank you, sir. There's a question from Alone. BFTech students also write cat and get. I am not exactly clear about the question, but I'm assuming that you probably want to know whether the BFTech students will have to write both cat and cat. The answer is you only have to write GAT, and the GAT exam is scheduled from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock tomorrow. I hope that question is cleared. Alone. And there's one more question. What if it's a irregular grid? I think, sir, would you like to take that, Ashwin sir?
I think I have answered it with the
Great. Okay.
yeah, grid thing. If that's clear for you, can you mention that, or else if it's not clear, what specifically is what you want to know, can you put in the chat?
Okay. Thank you, sir. So I think that would be it. We have come to almost the end of this particular live. There is no more questions that are left. We have answered most of the questions. So that would be it from THiNC Institute of Design. All the best for, yes, that's clear. Okay. Thank you, sir. So that's it. That's it from THiNC Institute of Design. It has been extremely nice actually having a lot of sessions and interacting with all of you who've been preparing for the Nift exams. All the best for everyone who is preparing for tomorrow. And thank you, sir. And till we see you in the next session, this is THiNC Institute of Design signing off. Thank you.
Bye.